Hi guys, this is Vishal here from Prepco. So in this video we will understand how to display data in the form of cards, like or in the form of like layout where it either a card form or a row which is more like a card, rounded corners, different colors and all those things. Because a lot of time you want to display data in the form of cards, not everyone wants to display in the form of tables or in the form of lists. So let's see how that can be done. And at the same time, we will also see how to make it responsive so that the card adapts to different sizes on the basis of different screen sizes. So we have this list of employees. So there are like some data. So let's see, we want to display this in the form of cards, a nice looking cards of 2 column, 3 column, or four column in a single row. So let's see how that can be done. So we have this page. As of now, it's a blank page. So we are not displaying anything. So let's go and build a layout. So I'll drop a section. So I drop a section with just one column. Okay. Now let's say I want to display all the cards here. So to display data in the form of cards or in the form of blocks, we use the data group component, right? So basically, which brings the data and then just display in the form of cards. So I just drop a data group component, and then I'll say bring data from collection. We already have data in employee collection, so I'll just use it as it is. Okay, and display 10 records at a time. That's fine. So I don't need search bar. If you need search box, you can use it, or if you don't need, you can just remove it. So this is the default card, right? So this is the default card which is there, and let's see how this looks like. So I'll just go here and reload the page. Before that, since we've already binded the collection, so let's display some dynamic data. So let's say I just display get data from employee, and I'll display name of the employee, and here probably the email of the employee. Email, that's all. Okay, that's it. Now let's display. So this is how the default cards look like. Quite ugly, right? So let's beautify it. So now if you go to the layer manager, you can see that how these cards are getting built. So we have a data group. So this is the data group. So data group is have a class called row by default. So row means it takes the complete row of the width in which it is placed, and then cards. Okay, and card are, so each card is inside the cards class. Now we want to build it and we want to make it responsive. So now what we'll do, we'll drop a column just inside the data group and then move the card inside the column. Okay, so let's do it. So I'll go to my components and drop a column. Now I can choose that what should be the width of each column, and this will continue to change so that we can see what all different permutation and combinations are. But for now, I'll just make it a full width 12, 12, 12. So these are the screen sizes, and this is a grid layout in Bootstrap framework. It basically divides the page into 12 equal components or 12 equal vertical sections. So you can have a page with 2 columns like 6 and 6. 4 4 4 if you want a 3 column layout. If you want a 4 column, then it's 3 3 3 3, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so I'll just close this. Now I'll go to the layer manager and move these cards inside the column. As I mentioned, that this cards is something which makes an individual card. Okay, and I'll just reload this. Now let's reload the page. There won't be much difference because we have not done anything yet, but at least you will see some difference. So this is it. Now we do have a lot of designs of cards, so let's try to use something. Okay, so I'll go to my components and look for the card component. So cards component is here. So we have components as a card components here, but we also have some card designed here, right? So if you go to the pre-built layouts, you will see a lot of cards designed, right? So if you want to use something like this, you can use. And these are also cards, like you see this card, card 01. So you can use whatever you want. Let's say we want to use this one. Okay, so how do we do? Just drag and drop inside the data group and inside the column which we have put in the data group. So go to my layer manager. So this is pre-built layout, which is obviously inside the column. I can either keep as it is or just move it outside of pre-built layout. Okay, sorry, it was not inside the column. Let's move it inside the column. Now this was my old card and this is my new card, so I can just delete my old card because I don't need it. That's all. Now if I reload this, it should show me the data of this card with a full width layout. So I removed the old card and just added the new card with a 100% width. So this is, you see, these are all the cards. Now let's say we want a 2-column layout. We want 2 cards in a row. So let's see how we do it. So I'll go to the column which we just dropped. So it's the column. Instead of 12, 12, 12, I just change it to 6 by 12. So I'll say on a small screen, take half of the width, which is 6 by 12, like this. Okay. I'll go to the settings. I'll say get data from employee, and employee, let's say name of the employee. This is fine. Let's say here we want to display the picture of the employee. So get data from employee and the photo. Okay, and that's all. So now it will show 2 cards in a row instead of 1 card. So now here you see we are seeing 2 employees. Okay. Obviously there are the cards of different sizes because of the images, so we can put a maximum height on image, okay, so that each takes the height, or we can also put the maximum height on the card so that the card should not expand beyond a certain size. As of now it's free, so obviously there is no restriction. Okay, so let's say I'll go to the image and I'll choose the maximum. So let's say I'll choose the width of 200 pixel in height auto, or I can just choose the height of 200 pixel in width auto. All right, so this, it should not take more than this much height. And let's add some color. Okay, let's add some background color to the card. So I can either choose the card layer, or I can just go to the column. Okay, so I'll just choose the card and add a background color. So we'll go to the decoration and background. Let's add some very light color like this. Okay, maybe a light blue color. Now let's add some margin on the top or probably bottom so that the card has some gap in between. So let's say margin bottom of, let's say 10 pixel. So that the next card, there should be some gap. Okay, that's all. Now let's reload the page. So this is how the cards look like, right? So you have basically fixed the height of image, height or width, so that it should not go beyond it. Let's say I want it to be rounded corners. Okay, so I can just similarly, I can go and just apply the rounded corners. So let's say I'm here on the card body. You just need to make sure that you're on the right column, right layer. So I am on the card body, and then I just go and apply the rounded corners. So I'll say, let's say I want to apply a border. So let's say a border of, let's say 2 pixel, which is solid black, which is good. Let's reload. So it should have border. Okay, now all the cards have border. Let's apply a bit of rounded corners. So I'll go here. Let's say border radius, let's say 20 pixel. 20. So I can either mark it separately here, or I can just mark it or 20 pixel on all the sides, right? So now the cards are a bit rounded. So this is how the border looks like. Okay, now let's say I want to display in some other format, maybe some other card. So I'll just go and drop another card component. So I'll go to the component, let's go to the card and just drop. Okay, so within the data group only, in the column inside the data group. Okay, so these are all predefined cards which we have. So let's say I want to display something like this. Okay, so the data is here. Now let's remove this and make this work. So I'll go to the layer manager, and the cards I'll just move outside of the. Okay, so this is my new card and this is my old card. So I'll just remove my old card because I no longer need it, and that's all. So now this card is inside the column. Okay, and now I can just give the dynamic data. Okay, so let's say I go to the image settings. I'll say get image from employee. which is the photo of the employee, which is fine. Name, I'll just say get name of the employee, which is name. Okay, and other things I just leave as it is. Let's see how this looks like now. I'll just reload the page. So now this card should get updated with the new card which we have applied. Okay, so the card is here, all the employees are here. Now let's make it a 3 card per row. So what I'll do, I'll go to the column. So I'll navigate to the column layer. So as of now, we are not yet at the column layer. So we can continue navigating. So this is the column. So you see, this is the column. Now I go to the settings and change. I'll say on tablet, keep it half, but on bigger screen, keep it 1/3, which is 4/12. Okay, and I'll just save and I reload the page. So each page should have now, so each row should have 3 cards. So now there are 3 cards on each row. Let's say if you want to make 4, then again, just instead of 4/12, we will make it 3/12. And let's say we want 3 cards on tablet layout. We'll also see tablet and how the other layout looks like. So now this is 4 cards. So now let's see how on different screens looks like. So I'll just go inspect element and change the screen layout to tablet and mobile. Okay, so this is how basically it looks on Surface, which is a tab. Okay, so let's say iPad mini, it's 3 column, iPad Air 3 column, iPad mini 3 column. Now let's change it to mobile. So on mobile screen it should take 1 at a time, right? So I'll say, so now here you see on mobile it is taking the whole width. I'll change it to some different mobile, same thing. I'll change it to Samsung Galaxy, same thing, right? But as soon as I change it to tab, it is now taking a 3 column. And if I change it to a desktop, so it will take 4 column. So this is how responsive cards are, and this is how you build a card layout using columns and card component in Trapcode. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again in the next video. Bye bye.